most important, is accessing our heart. And understand that when we are connected deeply into that wisdom and intelligence, we no longer see life. We no longer are able to touch in the way that we did before when we are mentalizing something. So that completely changes the ground floor of our work. And I would just like to say that when we're in our minds, we could do a mental exercise in therapy, but all we can really do from our mind is reorganize information to make it more comfortable, but there's no transformation. That has to be done from the heart. And on the first level, on day one, what we do is we learn how to dialogue in a very simple way of processing emotion in our bodies. That is a residual from our childhood, a trauma that happened to us long ago. And once we understand, there's a simple way, it can be complicated, but there's a ground and a simple way to address this. And once we address the emotion in our bodies, we use this information to access the original trauma. And what is important here is that when we have a big trauma, when we believe that we are not loved or not honored, are not wanted, we make a decision about how are we going to live our lives bearing that pain. And that one decision can be so deep and so potent that it completely changes the track of our lives. If we believe that we have to protect ourselves from love, from our mothers and our fathers, if you could imagine such a huge distortion in our hearts and our minds. So when we work with our parents, our mothers and our fathers, what we find is that the deepest and truest healing is that we can support our mothers and our fathers to be able to heal the pain and their trauma so that they can love themselves, so that they can bring that love forward and love us. So the healing is not just about the inner child. It's about our families. And I feel like once we get to a place in our lives when we hold no resentment, when we are absolutely in love with our parents, we are free to be able to really open and start exploring who are we? Who are we, these incredible human beings that have so much potential when we're not looking into that little lens of not being enough, right? So on the third day, what we do is we look at the ancestral piece. And this is an incredible journey because we realize that we are all essentially, until we're not, victims of strategies of survival that our ancestors took on. And when the body believes that we have to take on a strategy of survival, this will be passed on through our DNA. And so what we're doing is clearing a whole stream of consciousness. And it's quite amazing. And for me, I feel like what it gives me personally is the ability to be honest with myself. And when I'm able to be honest with myself, I'm able to be in honest relationship with my husband, Bruno, and with my friends and with my family. And that to me is so important, that we have that freedom to express our truth, to live our truth, and to explore, open up those doors and see that we are not a little package. We are immense, huge, powerful beings.